One of those draughts of water can be drawn at Miletus. In terms of sheer power, this place Miletus produced more colonies than any other Greek state. Its theater shows it at once to have been one of the great bearers of Greek tradition in Asia Minor. Here, 10,000 spectators watched the classical and less classical dramas of Greece and Rome. Here at Miletus, modern science was forestalled by the inspired oracles of Anaximander and Thales. Living creatures arose from the most moist element as it was evaporated by the sun. Man was like another animal, namely a fish in the beginning. So wrote Anaximander, astonishingly near the mark. And his teacher Thales even foretold an eclipse. Miletus eventually silted up and was left high and dry, a fate it shared with its neighboring rival Priene. Between them still flows the river Meander, which has enriched our language by its name as it meanders down to the receding sea. On the other side of the Meander lies the erstwhile rival of Miletus, Priene. In contrast with the flamboyance of Miletus, Priene had something akin to the Anglo-Saxon spirit of understatement. Its council chamber was small. Obviously, the town council was of modest size. Its theater abstained from all grandeur, but its perfection seems almost enhanced by the passage of time. Overgrown though it is, the beginnings of what we now call town planning can still be seen in this austere little town. Certainly the 340 dwellings that have been excavated display the Greek house at its most characteristic. An unostentatious entrance, an inner courtyard, and small rooms around it for living and sleeping. It takes an effort of the imagination to set this carefully perfected civilization amongst the rugged fantasy of the Turkish landscape, to look at present-day life and then to think back 2,500 years.
Çuma ver çuma. Ya Leyla'ylem. Devam çal. Ya Leyla'ylem. Ya Leyla'ylem. Ya Leyla'ylem. Ya Leyla'ylem. Ya Leyla'ylem. Küpe vur lan, küpe vur.
North of Priene, on the way to Istanbul, we called it Pergamon. Down in the valley lies one of those splendid testimonies to the almost Edwardian extravagance of the Roman Empire. The spa erected in honor of the healing god Aesculapius. Here I met Professor Boehringer of Berlin, the present excavator of the site, and with him drank the radioactive water of the place. These Romans had it all, down to medicinal waters and mud baths. When the disreputable Emperor Caracalla got too bored with Rome, he came here to recuperate. The theater with its stage is nearly perfect and could in fact be used today. A subterranean passage led to the pump room to protect those in search of better health from the rigors of fresh air. Professor Boehringer himself discovered this pump room and explained its commodious proportions with expansive enthusiasm. The Romans certainly did nothing by halves. They administered to the needs of the body with unfaltering devotion, and they knew how to keep a large place warm better than we know in Britain 2,000 years later. From the Temple of Healing to the hill of Pergamon is only a short ride, and yet it's 400 years back in time from the Roman Spa. This was the capital of a sturdy kingdom which held the barbarians at bay, whether from the interior of Asia Minor or from across the sea in Europe. From this towering citadel, the kings of Pergamon freed Asia Minor from the invading Gauls. Upon it, they erected an altar over the ashes of their victims. But they were more than redoubtable soldiers, these Pergamines. They were Greek in the fullest sense. Their library, now a few broken and disheveled walls, was second only to that of Alexandria. The word parchment is indeed derived from Pergamon. Out of the steep hillside, they hacked one of the most impressive theaters of classical times. The arts of peace and war here went hand in hand. Here is the arsenal, where they stored the great stone cannonballs which they catapulted upon their foes. And these same people did immortal justice to their victims by sculpturing their dying agony in stone. For Byron's dying gladiator was in reality a dying Gaul. He leans upon his hand, his manly brow consents to death, but conquers agony.